Thousands of supporters flocked the grand campaign rallies of presidentiables on Saturday. And the weekend campaigns continue today. We'll give you a rundown of where the presidential and vice presidential candidates are headed this busy Sunday. Following a series of oil price hikes, the government is set to release fuel subsidy for affected PUV drivers and operators this week. Can't book a ride-hailing service? Well, a new competitor is entering TNVS market. And Olympic pole vaulter EJ Buena is missing this year's World Indoor Championship after he was not endorsed by the PATAFA. Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your weekend. I'm Riza Diaz. Thousands flocked the campaign rally of presidential aspirant Vice President Leni Robredo in Isabela on Saturday. The Vice President's supporters cheered her and her running mate, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, on while shouting "Awanti Solid North" or "There is no Solid North." Isabela is a part of the so-called Solid North, the bailiwick of current presidential frontrunner Bongbong Marcos Jr. Now, before the rally, the Vice President was welcomed in Alcala, where its Mayor Tin Antonio and former Cagayan Governor Alvaro Antonio welcomed her. Antonio said Robredo was the first official who helped them during the onslaught of Typhoon Ulysses. In her speech, Robredo said politics should be set aside after the election. She added that an elected official should do their mandate to serve everyone regardless of color or affiliation.
Hindi ko po tiningnan, hindi po ako tumingin sa kulay ng politika. Basta po tinatamaan yung Cagayan ng bagyo, andito po ako. Hindi lang po na pumunta ako, hindi lang ako nagpakita, pero lagi po kami nag-iiwan ng team dito para gumawa ng relief operations. Kaya ako po, pag sinabi ko na pag nanalo ako, wala na akong kulay na titingnan, meron po akong resibo.
Meanwhile, presidential aspirant Labor leader Leody de Guzman and his running mate Walden Bello met with fishermen in Misamis Occidental on Saturday. Now, after this, they talked to coconut farmers in the area. The tandem promised more irrigation and support for the farmers if elected. De Guzman added that if elected, he will raise the salary of workers of MSMEs and that the government will augment any deficiencies.
Walang suportang sosyal dito sa ating mga mamayan dito. At yung sahod ng mga manggagawa, itataas natin ang kung anong kulang pupunaan ng gobyerno para makapantay ang sahod ng mga taga-probinsya sa sahod na tinatanggap ng taga-Metro Manila.
Partido Reforma standard-bearer Senator Ping Lacson and his running mate Senate President Tito Soto got a warm welcome in Porac, Pampanga on Saturday. The tandem met with the meat processors, tricycle drivers, and some sectoral leaders. After this, they also held a town hall meeting where Lacson said he does not think it's time to ease COVID restrictions to zero unless it's backed by data.
Kung may basihan sila sa science na pwede na mag-level zero, then fine. So para mag-open up talaga economy. Pero kung kamas-kamas yung science na nagsasabing pwede na, teka muna, wag muna. Baka ang hirap. Sabi nga namin lagi, di ba, walang trade-off between health and economy.
And Senator Manny Pacquiao made rounds in Bacoor, Cavite yesterday, where he reiterated that he will not back out of the presidential race. He also expressed his opposition to the government's move to force BPO employees to work on site. He said that people still contribute a lot to the economy, regardless of whether they are working from home or on site. Now let's find out where presidential candidates are headed today. Senator Manny Pacquiao is expected to make his rounds in Quezon Province today. According to his team, Pacquiao will visit the town of Alabat, among others. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno will be visiting Masbate. Mayor Isko's team will hold a motorcade right after they arrive. The presidential candidate is also scheduled to meet with the municipal leaders of Masbate. Now, after their rally in Parañaque on Saturday, the Bongbong Sara Uni team is expected to campaign in Muntinlupa and Las Piñas today. The Marcos Duterte tandem will be joining a caravan this afternoon. That will be followed by a grand rally at the Vista Global South in Las Piñas. Partido Lakas ng Masas Calyodi de Guzman and Walden Bello are still in Mindanao. Yodi-Walden tandem will meet with farmers and fisherfolk at Maigo, Lanao del Norte. Now, their team is also expected to have a talk with the urban poor at Del Carmen in Iligan City. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The government is set to release fuel subsidy this week amid the outcry of PUV drivers over the increase in fuel prices. But with another massive hike looming, transport groups call the measure a band-aid solution. Juan Gualvez has the report.
The government is set to distribute 2.5 billion pesos worth of fuel subsidy under the Pantawid Pasada program. Each beneficiary will receive at least 6,500 pesos. This is also just the first tranche of payouts, with the second round scheduled next month. The program, meanwhile, has been expanded to cover not just public utility jeepneys, but also taxis, buses, UV Express, TNVS, tricycles, and even delivery riders.
Malaking bagay din yan eh. Kumbaga, kung sakaling pwedeng iparehas na lang din sa lahat-lahat, gawing 6.5 na lang din, mas pasalamat po kami.
But some of them doubt they will get any subsidy.
Tingin mo hindi kayo makakatanggap?
Tingin namin hindi eh. Siyempre, napunta sa operator yan eh.
Hindi nila nakukuha yun, no? Subsidy ng mga driver. Hindi namin masabi kung na kanino. Nakukuha lang na kung sino-sino.
Magkano lang ngayon? Yung petrolyo talaga ibaba. Wala pag-asa yan.
This is the same sentiment from the Liga ng Transportasyon at Operators. The group called on the government to offer real solutions to the problem.
Kailangan ng driver po ay maliwanag, tapyasan yung anong buwis na excise tax o anuman, di ba? At saka i-repeal o revisahin yung batas deregulation law.
At least 30 transport groups have threatened to hold a strike if the government does not hear these demands. Meanwhile, based on the LTFRB's records, some 156,000 of over 377,000 subsidy beneficiaries already have fuel cards. PUV drivers can use the cards to purchase fuel only at participating gasoline stations. The government has also allotted 500 million pesos in petroleum discounts for the agriculture sector. Each beneficiary under the program will receive 3,000 pesos. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Ride-hailing applications have a new competition as one company introduces the latest addition to its services. Laila Panghilinan with the report.
Ride-hailing applications have been very convenient, especially during the pandemic. One example of this is Joyride. Commuters can use the app to hail a motorcycle ride and for deliveries. But aside from this, it has just launched a new service called Joyride Car, which was recently accredited by the LTFRB. Brushing off the competition by other apps with the same service, Joyride Senior Vice President Noli Ayala has this to say.
Now that there is another option in the market, all of the players are now forced to provide better service. And the winner eventually is simply the market. The riding public, the driver partners that will be provided better support, better incentives.
The latest edition also promises cheaper rates, especially during rush hour when fare increases. Ayala, however, admits that the consecutive oil price hikes is a challenge, and they also need to strike a balance between their patrons and driving partners. But to soften the blow of the hikes, Joyride constantly coordinates with authorities.
Nakasama kami dun sa pagtitipon, yung hearing ng Congressional Ad Hoc Committees sa General Appropriations Act of 2022, kasama ang subsidiya sa TNVS drivers and operators.
They are also in talks with gas companies for a possibility of fuel subsidy to Joyride drivers.
Binubuksan po namin yan sa lahat ng mga kumpanya. Although right now, ang Caltex po meron ng.
Meanwhile, to ease the worry of commuters, the company assures that they provide a safe ride and that they comply with the health and safety guidelines at all times. For News 5, Laila Pangilinan, we are One News.
Still no Pinoy athlete for World Indoors Championship as our homegrown pole vaulter EJ Obiena have not been endorsed for the competition. On his recent social media post, Obiena expresses disappointment by not making it to the registration. Aside from being in his prime physical and mental condition, he lamented that he's currently ranked the 5th best pole vaulter in the world. And all of that is wasted by the non-endorsement from Patafa. Now here are the stories to watch out for later today. New poultry virus Newcastle disease continues to spread in Labrador, Pangasinan. As of now, more than 700 chickens have already died due to the virus in up to 10 barangays. More than 75,000 people are expected to take civil service exam today. 77 testing centers in the country will be used for this exam. And the Phoenix Fuel Masters will try to redeem themselves in a do-or-die game against Northport Batang Pier later today, 6:30 p.m. at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 9 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.